EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air, and we are underway from Santa Clara. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Purdy going to the air right away. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defense. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Here's Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 39. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
That good for 22 and a first down. Well, it's kind of fitting. A couple days ago when we met with him, I said, what is it about your running game that's so effective? He said, I like to tag myself as elusive. He was pretty elusive right there.
And his teammates appreciate that because they know they don't have to hold their blocks for very long. As one of them told us, if I just breathe some bad breath on the guy in front of me, that's all I need to do, and he's gone.
This is Jennings. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Shotgun now with Purdy. This is caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Purdy looking to throw. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the 49ers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Rudolph now to throw. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rudolph looking to throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Here's Rudolph. Cockrell holds it in left side. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown, they got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. The throwing here, Purdy. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that, incomplete. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Purdy now to throw. That is caught, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now Samuel. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Connects with Kittle underneath. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Play action. Now Purdy. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Pollard will take it up the gut. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Open man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A throw left side for Pearson is complete. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Purdy. Being chased out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and 1st downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Purdy going to give this one to Mason. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Jet sweep. Boyd with it. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Purdy. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mason. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
2nd and 9 from the 44. To the right goes Mason. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Samuel. A little juke. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Purdy bootlegging it. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
To try again after the sack. Purdy. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with first and goal. I have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on third down.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Operating from the gun. Purdy. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Across the middle and into the hands of Ridley. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Back to throw, Rudolph. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Out of the gun to give to Pollard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Rudolph. That is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now they'll go again with Mason. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. This pass complete to Pollard on the out route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Rudolph looking to throw it. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Rudolph now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Titans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Rudolph going to throw again. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Folk's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mason. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Purdy looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. He's got Mason complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Connects with Kittle underneath. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll run for it with Mason. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dance up for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. 1 second, all that remains. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Rudolph. That's dumped off to Pollard. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Rudolph. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa, his second sack of the night.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. That's pulled in at the 32. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. McCaffrey on the toss right. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
3rd and 12. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Completes it to Jennings. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. $39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. Excellent effort defensively. Tackle for loss goes to Leonard Floyd.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now it's Rudolph. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. Calling a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Purdy now to throw. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. Looking to throw. Purdy. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
In motion, the tight end. Now Purdy. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 12-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They work now on 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Purdy. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. An 11-yard touchdown. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Rudolph looking to throw. He finds his man, Pollard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Rudolph. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. Back to throw, Rudolph. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Rudolph. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Here's Rudolph. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, called it the 26. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Here's Purdy. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Shotgun now with Purdy. That's caught by Jennings. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Now that's a killer because you think you get it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Purdy looking to throw. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Purdy from the gun. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Throwing here, Purdy. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that...
Touchdown! George Kittle, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Niners have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Rudolph now to throw. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Rudolph. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Rudolph. That's dumped off to Pollard. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down. Back to the air, Rudolph. Open man downfield is Ridley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 32 on the play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tyler Boyd. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Purdy. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. After the interception, here's Rudolph. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll run again. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Rudolph. Complete to Boyd. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Here's 2nd down. Rudolph. To the sideline and incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now Rudolph. And that will be incomplete as well.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They'll run for it with Pollard, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the 4th quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So it's a win for the Niners here, and it was thanks in part to the play of their 3rd-year quarterback.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.